Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 57. Insert interval, right? So what the question states here, we are given a sorted list of non-overlapping intervals and a new interval that we need to insert while maintaining the order and merging any overlapping intervals, right? So here you can clearly see intervals. We have been given intervals means sorted list of non-overlapping intervals, right? And the new interval is also given here, you can clearly see, and the new interval that we need to insert while maintaining the order. So we need to insert this one while maintaining the order and merging any overlapping intervals. We have to merge any overlapping intervals. You can clearly see here, 1 we have, 1 3 6 9 we have, so 2 5, so 1 5 and 6 9 here. This is fine, right? So in the example 2 also they have given 1 2 3 5 6 7 8 10 12 16. Here new interval is 4 comma 8. Output is here 1 2 3 10 and 12 and 16, because here they have clearly mentioned in the explanation. The new interval 4 comma 8 overlaps with 3 comma 5, 6 comma 7 and 8 comma 10 here, right? It overlaps with 4 comma 8 overlaps with 3 comma this one 3 comma 5, 6 comma 7 and 8 comma 10. So we will ignore that one and we'll give here 1 comma 2, 3 comma 10 as well as 12 comma 16, right? So I hope this is completely clear. First what we'll do, we'll discuss the approach followed by edge cases one by one, and then finally write the code and discuss the complexities of the code that we have written. Initially what we'll do, we'll discuss the approach. Here I have considered the same first example that they have given in the question. So this one will be going with sorting. So this one we have to keep in mind. Intervals 1 comma 3 and 6 comma 9 we have here. New interval is 2 comma 5. The same first question that they have given in the question. Output has to be 1 comma 5 and 6 comma 9. Let's discuss the edge cases step by step here, right? So here the first step here is identifying the non-overlapping intervals before new intervals. Those here the first interval is 1 comma 3 and the new interval is 2 comma 5. First interval we have here is 1 comma 3. You can clearly see here, this one we are considering 1 comma 3, and new interval is 2 comma 5 here. The interval 1 comma 3 overlaps with 2 comma 5 because 2 is inside 1 comma 3, means 1 to 3, right? So here 2 is present in 1 comma 3. So the interval 1 comma 3 overlaps with 2 comma 5 because 2 is inside 1 comma 3. So here if an interval does not overlap with new interval, then we will add it to the result. Again I am telling, if an interval does not overlaps with a new interval, we will directly add it to the result. Since 1 comma 3 overlaps here, we will move to the merging step here. So we will move to the merging step. Let's see what we will do in the merging step. We will check for the overlaps with existing intervals. Nothing but 1 comma 3 overlaps with 2 comma 5. So we merge them into 1 comma 5, right? So here 1 comma 3 merges with 2 comma 5. So 1 will be there, and as 2 merges with 1 2 3, 1 comma 2 comma 5 merges with 1 comma 3. So what we will do, we will merge them into 1 comma 5 here, right? So we will merge them into 1 comma 5 by new start. Min of 1 comma 2 here 1 and 3 comma 5 here is this one 5, right? So here what we will do, 1 comma 3 here 2 merges with it becomes 1 comma 2, 2 merges between 1 comma 3, right? This becomes 1 comma 2 and this one merges between 2 comma 5 here, right? So this will be, instead of 2 comma 5 it will be 3. Why? Because 2 has merged between 1 comma 3 here. So minimum of this we will take, minimum of this one will be 1 and minimum of 3 comma 5 will be 3 here in this case. So output sorry, this one max we are considering, right? This one min and this one max. Maximum will be 5 here in this case. So this will be 1 comma 5, right? So this is fine. Next step what we will do, the merged interval is now 1 comma 5. So adding remaining non-overlapping intervals here. So the next interval here is 6 comma 9. Since 6 comma 9 starts with after 1 comma 5, it remains unchanged. So here again I'm telling the next interval here is 6 comma 9, right? So the next interval here is 6 comma 9. Since 6 comma 9 starts after 1 comma 5, it remains unchanged, right? So 5 6 starts after 5, right? So this comes after 1 comma 5. So this remains unchanged. So we will add 6 comma 9 directly to the result here. I hope this is clear. So final merged intervals will be obviously 1 comma 5 and here 6 comma 9 in this case. So we will return this one as output, right? So I hope the approach is completely clear. So let's see the edge cases step by step, right? Let's discuss the edge cases one by one here. So the first edge case here is intervals equals 1 comma 3 6 comma 9. Same I have considered. This one will be new interval 10 comma 12 they have given. Output will be in this case 1 comma 3. It doesn't merge anyway. It will be 6 comma 9 and 10 comma 12. 10 comma 12, 10 comes after 9 here, right? So this will come after this one. This is sorted, they have given in the question. So this will be added to the result, right? This will be 10 comma 12. So here in this case this is fine. Let's move on with the second edge case here. So new interval before all the intervals will be 3 comma 5 here, and this will be 7 comma 9. So new interval will be 1 comma 2 in this case, right? New interval will be 1 comma 2 in this case. So here this will be new interval before all the intervals, right? So here this comes before 1 comes before 3, you can clearly see here. So this will be added at the beginning. So this will be in this case 1 comma 2, 3 comma 5 and 7 comma 9 here in this case. I hope this is clear, right? So the third edge case here would be new interval of after all the intervals. So here new intervals after all intervals 1 comma 3 and 4 comma 6 we have. Here in this case new interval is 8 comma 10 we have, right? So 8 comes after 6, you can clearly see here. 8 comes after 6 in this case. So this will be added at the last result, right? So this will be 1 comma 3, 4 comma 6 and 8 comma 10 in this case. This is for the edge case, new interval after all the intervals, right? Fourth edge case here, completely overlapping all intervals here in this case. Fourth one, completely overlapping all intervals here. Intervals is 2 comma 3 and this one is 4 comma 5 here. In this case new interval is 1 comma 6, right? So here you can clearly see we have the merged interval here 1 comma 6 itself, right? So the output will be 1 comma 6. It will 1 comma 6 is between 2 comma 3 and this one, between 2 comma 3, and also we can consider that between 2 comma 3 and this one 4 comma 5 as well, right? So in this case we will give 2 comma 5 or 1 comma 6 this will be, right? This will be 1 comma 6. So the final edge case here would be empty intervals list. So this will be intervals and new intervals would be here 2 comma 5 in this case. Output will be 2 comma 5, right? So output will be here 2 comma 5 in this case. So because we have the new interval 2 comma 5, intervals is empty here, we don't have anything, so we will add this one to the this one result array, right? This will be 2 comma 5. These are the 5 edge cases that we need to consider here. I hope all the edge cases are clear. The first edge case is for non-overlapping intervals. The second edge case is for new interval before all intervals. The third edge case is for new interval after all intervals. The fourth edge case is for completely overlapping all intervals. The fifth edge case is for empty intervals list. So here I hope all the edge cases are clear along with the approach, right? So I hope the approach and edge cases are completely clear, right? So next what we'll do, we will start. So let's start writing the code. Initially we have to store the intervals in the resulting array, right? So let's consider here result. Let's initialize this one to the empty array, and n, let's initialize this one to the intervals dot length. This one is fine. So the next step here is we will add all the intervals that end before the new interval starts. Means while I less than n and intervals of I1 is less than new interval of 0, what we will do, we will push this one to the result. This one will be intervals of I plus plus. So what we are doing here in this step, we are adding all the intervals that end before the new interval starts. So this one we have already seen in the approach. Next step here is we will merge overlapping intervals. Means we have to merge the overlapping intervals that overlaps, right? So this one we have already discussed in the edge cases as well as in the approach. So let me quickly write the while loop here. While I less than n and intervals of I 0 here is less than or equal to new interval here of 1. What we will do in this case, we will update start and we will update end. In the beginning we will update start. So this one will be interval, new interval of 0 equals math.min of new interval of 0 comma intervals of I and 0. I hope this is clear. So next step here is new interval of 1 here. This is equal to math.max of new interval of 1 here comma intervals of I plus plus. So here this will be 1 in this case. I hope this is clear, right? So the next step here is we will add the merged interval. Means the result dot push off here. This one will be new interval. I hope this is clear. So the next step here is the final step. We have to add all the remaining intervals as well, right? Here we will make use of while loop I less than n. Then what we will do? We will do the result dot push off here intervals of I less plus. This is fine. The final step is here. We will return result. Let me format the code once and let me hit the run button. So here we are getting error, right? I is not defined. We have defined the I, right? So I, oh okay, yeah, we have not defined I here. I'll just give here I equals 0. Let me format the code once and let me hit the run button. So here you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed here. Means let me hit the submit button quickly. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed here. Means the code works absolutely correct on this case, right? So let's quickly discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. So the approach that we went with here is merging intervals, right? We know this one. So the overall time complexity would be big O of n here in this case, right? So overall time complexity would be big O of n in this case, and the overall space complexity would be big O of n in this case as well. We use an extra array result here. You can clearly see here. We will be making use of the extra array result. We have already used made use of the extra array result here. So overall space complexity would be big O of n as well. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code is big O of n, right? So the solution or the code that we have written is, I hope the solution or the code that we have written is completely clear. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.